Well, good evening, everyone. Margaret is here again with another video. Gonna be a short video. So, folks, you haven't seen me in a week or two. I've been busy trying to get more memory on this tablet. So, finally, I did that today. And now I'm here to give you a little video. So, folks, I was thinking today and I was referring back to the years when my son was a young student and when he had to return to school for September. And that period of time, folks, I had a hard time getting him to come with me to shop for his clothes. Yes, folks, I started to check the local stores here in town. Couldn't find anything to fit him because he was a chubby, husky guy. So finally, I decided that, you know what, I'll just go cross-border shopping. So at that time, I was able to drive long distance, wasn't scared or anything. They showed me the way, and I was able to go all the way across the border to a place that they call Watertown. And that's where I went, folks, to get his clothes for school. Got him 2 pants, and I got him about 3 shirts. Washable, wash and wear shirts, cotton, nice colors, wash and wear. So then he was excited because then he was able to fit them and he was happy to fit them. But when I went to the local stores here in town, he didn't care to come with me to go fit the clothing. I don't know why. So it was always a hassle to get him for shopping. But we had no problem. We went across the border and we went early in the morning. We were there before the stores were open. Back in the 90s, because he was born in 1980. So by the time 90 comes around. Yes. So, yes, no trouble. And of course, he loves to go and eat. So he was able to go to McDonald's and had his big lunch. I think that's what he was looking for. He wanted a real treat. So if he goes to the local store, you know what, we're gonna be just a short time out. He won't be spending long time so he could get to eat. Maybe twice before he gets back. Yes, that guy was very smart. He knew how to manipulate his way around to get what he wants. So he used to do that with me. But I used to figure it out. I figured it out eventually what he was up to. But it was still fun. So yes, folks, so we did that for years and got him in school and he was quite happy. So there was one here, I think he was about 13 or 14, 15 going up there. And he was going to this school that he seemed to not making any progress at all. And he complained that the teachers were giving him the same work. He said, Mom, it's boring because they keep giving me the same work that I did last year, last term. They keep giving me back the same work. And he was complaining that he wanted the challenges and he was not getting that. But they were not paying him any attention. So I explained to the teacher what he said, but they didn't agree. Anyhow, his sister went to a really prestigious school, high school, where lots of bright kids go to. And for she was very bright in mathematics and English and a lot of subjects. She was very bright. Both of them were very bright, but this one was going to this school that my son was interested to go to. So he was talking with her, questioning her, and asked her about this school for quite some time. But we didn't realize that he had his eye on that school. Now he was at this school where they put the kids that are, they label them slow learner. Slow learner. So they label him that and they put him at this school where they had a lot of trades classes where they could learn trade and carpenter and mechanics and different trades because they figure, well, their heads are not good for the books. So they put them in a lot of trade, hairdressing, economics, and all the different subjects and trades that they had at this school. So that was one of the school that he was going to. So he got fed up and he didn't like it. So why I remember this now is about around this time, going down to the middle of August. He get up one morning and he said to me, Mom, I want to change school. I said, yeah, but Colin, can you manage the work at the other schools? So I said, what school you want to go to? And he mentioned the school that he wanted to go to. And I said, oh my gosh, that's the school that his sister went to. I said, but can you manage the work? And he said he wanted a challenge. So I said, okay. So I made an appointment, went down to the old school that he had been going to, and decided to get his transcript for that school to take it to the other school that he was interested in. So we did that, got the transcript from the school, and made an appointment with the school now that he's interested in. So we got there, speak with the principal, and he in turn set us up with the counselor. The counselor, I forget what they call him, but it's a counselor for the student. So he sit and he talk with him and question him and ask him what his intentions are. And my son told him that he was ready to, he's serious now with his learning and he wants challenges. So teacher said, all right, we'll give you a chance. And they set him up and have him get ready to attend the school in September. So he did that. He attended the school in September and he did the work. And the students at that school, they have I think, a newspaper outlet because they're bright kids. So they had a newspaper outlet. And would you believe, folks, that they wrote him up about 3 months after he had started school? They wrote him up a nice letter in the newspaper to give him some credits and praise him for the work, excellent work that he's doing at the school. His marks were up. He attended regularly, never late for school, and at the same time they realized that he had a part-time job after school in the evening. So they were really praising him for being able to balance his part-time work and his school work. So that was it, folks. But how this came about, folks, I was always praying. Cannot left this out. I was always praying. I said, Lord, I don't want him to graduate from school and cannot read. Because he would read the subjects that he has to work with, but he wasn't interested. He wasn't somebody interested in reading. He wouldn't pick up a book and read for too long. He would not do that. So I was afraid that he would leave school and not knowing how to read. So my main problem was, Lord, I pray every day, I pray, Lord, help him. Help him that he will learn and he can at least learn to read before he gets to graduate from school. So when he came to me with this idea that he wants to leave from this low grade school and to face a higher, brighter school where he can have challenges, I was frightened. I said, oh my gosh, what got into this kid? He wants to go to this big school that he may not be able to manage the work there. And folks, he managed the work and he graduated with flying colors. And the praying part I have to finish to tell you, folks. Night and day I prayed. I said, Lord, help him. Touch his mind and help him to be able to read and write at least. So when he came to me that day and mentioned that he decided he want to leave that school and switch school and go to this upper higher class school, I was frightened. But then I thought, oh my God, this is God answering my prayers. God is answering my prayers. And I'm telling you, I believe it now that it's the prayers that I sent up that God turned his mind around and renewing his mind, renewing his spirit, and he was now ready to face a challenge. And he did that. And he went to that school and he did very well and he graduated. He graduated with big marks, flying colors. He graduated. And he went into computer tech. Yes, he went into computer repairing and whatever they call it. Uh, he went into. So, you know, I just want to share with you guys that whenever your children in school having a problem, take it to the Lord. Take it to the Lord because He can fix it. The scripture said He will renew your mind, renew your spirit, and He can do miracles, folks. He's still in the miracle business. And He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So, folks, remember now to listen to your children when they come to you and decide that they want to switch school. They want to change schools for whatever reason. Listen to them. And if it's possible that you can get them to a new school where they can renew their mind and change the course and do something for themselves because they may not be doing well at the present school. And if they decide that they'd like to change school, go along, listen to them and go along and find out what they want. Because it's not always what the parents want, but it's what the kids want. They are very smart and they know what they want. And it would be nice if the parents would listen to the children. They're old enough sometimes to think for themselves and know and they know the good schools too, because they talk to their peers and they know what they're talking about. They know which school is the best and which is not. So my son did that for himself with prayers, because I was praying and he was thinking, and it came together, and a miracle came out of it. Yes, folks, a miracle came out of it. Because in the lowest class that he was going, from the lower grades, they labeled him that he was a learning disabled. He has a learning disability, and that was not so. What happened to him is that he's a younger of the family. His two sisters are much older than him. And so when he was a young kid, toddler, he didn't have and them to play with. He had to play with himself or watch TV or whatever. So by the time he got to kindergarten class, school, he was excited to be among all these children that he could play with. And that was his problem. He was more playing at school than learning what they were teaching. And when he got to the older grades, he still was doing that. But as he got a little older, he realized that time was catching up on him. Yes, he realized that time was catching up on him. And he decided to take the bull by the horn. So, yes, folks, he did that. Decided it's time that him to get serious and get down to business and to finish his school. So he did that at the right moment. He was able to finish up and learn, graduated, and was able to move on to college into the computer technology. Yes, he can repair computers and troubleshooting problems. And he had so many different jobs where they had him a customer service. The customers would just call up, tell him what the problem was, and on the line he would solve the problem with them, work it out online, telephone to telephone with them. So he was pretty good at that. Yes, folks. So listen to your kids and help them out to they want to change course and go somewhere else. You know, support them and listen to what they have to say. So I just figure, well, folks, I want to share this with you because it's coming back to school and it's a hectic time. Thank God I don't have to do that no more. It's a very hectic time. I remember it was a very hectic time. And I had only one at the time because the two girls were already old enough and graduated and gone on their own. So he was left back to finish up school. So yes, folks, and he was the only one. So I can imagine parents that have two and three kids. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Not easy at all, folks. So I hope you're blessed with this little message and this little story of back to school. So don't give up, folks. Hang in there and pray and ask the Lord to open a way for the children to learn if they're having trouble learning. Pray and ask the Lord to open their minds and open their knowledge and brains and help them to learn. Because nothing is impossible with God. He's able. He's able to take us through those bumpy roads with the kids during the school time. Yes, folks, I think that's all I have to say about this subject. And I hope that you enjoy the little story that I have to share with you. And I'm trying to think what else about this school thing. Yeah, so maybe I'll come back next time with more before September. If I remember anything more, I'll come back and share with you, folks. So have a wonderful day, stay blessed, and be prepared for back to school coming September. But down in Jamaica, it must be a lot of excitement because the kids will have their own transportation. Yeah, I think that's a good point for me to touch on. The kids will have their own transportation, folks. And that's a blessing in disguise because I've seen it. I live abroad and I've seen where those poor kids have to wait and wait for taxi because, as far as they say, I understand that some taxi drivers won't take them because the fare is small. They will take the adults, and the poor kids will have to wait and wait and wait until other taxis will come who are willing to take the small fare to take these kids home. Can you imagine, folks? And when they do come, the kids have to sit in each other's lap. Sometimes, one at a time, I saw a car was so packed that I said, oh my God, the door cannot even barely close. What when he goes around the corner, that door fly open? What will become of those kids? So I thank God that Mr. Holness and his government decided that they're going to get the school buses to run. Because it's well needed, folks. Because the kids cannot rely on the taxi drivers to do it because there's not enough transportation when school is out. So many schools are out probably at the same time, and there's not enough transportation to take them home. They have to wait and wait and wait until time start to get a little late for them. So thank God that they will have school bus come in September. So a lot of people are criticizing the school bus and it's this and it's that, but at least they have transportation to get home from school. We'll see how they work, how these buses run on the road. It shouldn't be any problem. If the roads are good and smooth, and if they don't fall into any potholes, then it should be all right. But I just hope and pray that the bad roads that are there, I hope they get fixed before the buses come out. Because if those bus wheels fall into the potholes, it can overturn the buses. So let's hope and pray everything goes well with the new buses on the road come in September when the kids are heading out to school. So I can imagine what an excitement it is for them to be marching up into those buses, sit down into nice, comfortable seats, and be able to get to school in time. Yes, the bus will have their schedule. They will know when to go out and get that bus and get to school on time. So thank the Lord, Jamaica is moving up and Jamaica has come a long way. I couldn't dream of this in my day. I had no school bus to take me to school. I had to walk, get up early and walk miles and miles to get to school. Yeah, but thank God things have been changing. And now these kids, this generation, they will now have their own school bus to take them to and from school. So praise the Lord, bless up everyone, and give God the glory, folks. Things are looking up. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed, everyone. Bye bye now.